I want to live eternal life. Lord, save my soul. I want to live eternal life. Lord, save my soul. Oh, my Savior. I want to connect your remember me. Remember me, oh Lord. Oh, I want to connect your people. Remember me, oh Lord. Ọ̀pá kí sì ní ilé burú mi bú ọ. Ọ̀pá kí sì ní ìyàwó nke mọ́ màdénú àná mi rú mi. Káàkiri tó ké ní ilé mi. Ọ̀pá kí. Ọ̀pá kí sì ní ilé burú mi bú ọ. Ọ̀pá kí. Ọ̀pá kí sì ní ìyàwó nke mọ́ àná mi rú mi. Káàkiri tó ké ní ilé mi. Jíde ọ̀pá kí. Ọ̀pá kí sì ní ilé burú mi bú ọ. Ọ̀pá kí. Ọ̀pá kí sì ní ìyàwó nke mọ́. Jehovah, iti ebube lebe na. Jehovah, oh nadiwe, ibueze, lenuwa, inetiati, nalamwa, Jehovah, take glory, Father, take glory, Son, take glory, Holy Ghost, now and forevermore, forevermore. Take glory, Father, oh, take glory, Son, take glory, Holy Ghost, now and forevermore. Take glory, Father, oh, take glory, Son, take glory, Holy Ghost, now and forevermore, forevermore. Take glory, Father, take glory, Son, take glory, Holy Ghost, now and forevermore. There is power mighty in the blood. There is power mighty in the Lord. There is power mighty in the blood of Jesus Christ. There is power mighty in the blood, in the blood. There is power mighty in the blood. Oh, in the blood. There is power mighty in the blood. Oh, in the blood. In the blood of Jesus Christ, there is power mighty in the blood. Prayer is the key. Oh, prayer is the key. Prayer is the master key. Master key. Jesus started with prayer and ended with prayer. Oh, prayer is the master key. Master key. Prayer is the key. Prayer is the key. Oh, prayer is the master key. Master key. Jesus started with prayer and ended with prayer. Prayer is the master key. Ikedinu, ikedinana, ikediebedile, my Jesus carrier. I see ikedino burumiri, ikediwaneluwala, ikedinuruwanile, my Jesus carrier.
Wow. This is amazing. Wow. Namford, good evening, Nafisat. Nafisat, good evening. Khadija Mohammed said, welcome to another episode of our discussion. Yes, I'm going to allow our topic to go right under the screen. Yes, so welcome to another episode of our discussion. Please don't forget to share on all your social media handles. Thank you very much, Khadija. Thank you. And I want to say on that note, good evening. Good evening, IUM family. Good evening, good evening. And yes, just like Khadija has said, welcome once again to In Our Mind Talk Show. Yes, and I am your one and only host, Nurse Angel in the house. Please, farm members, I want to say to you that In Our Mind Talk Show is a show that dares to say what others whisper. I repeat, In Our Mind Talk Show is a show that says loudly what others whisper. Yes, last week's episode shook the room. Yes, it touched hearts. Yes, it opened wounds. Yes, and it brought healing. Yes. So tonight, we even go deeper. Yes, fam members, we even go stronger but wiser. Yes. Last Sunday, we started a conversation. Yes, not just about death. You know, when people hear about will writing, they think about death. But we started a conversation about what happens after death. A conversation about will writing. Expectedly, many family members asked questions. Yes, after the talk show, I went to the page and I saw a lot of questions. Onyinyechi, good evening, ma. Happy Sunday. I'm dancing too. Yes, sir. Let me go to the current. Yeah, I'm dancing too. Blessing Abu, yes. So last week, a lot of farm members asked questions. They did. They asked questions, and after the talk show, Faith, we go deeper and grow wiser. Thank you. Faith, you're a very smart lady. No wonder my brother is heads over heels in love. Yes. I saw a number of questions asked by the family members. Real questions. After the show, I read them. And they are honest questions that touched my soul. And tonight, I want to answer some of those questions before we start. I want to answer some of those questions. However, I can't do that to my lovely IOM fan members. I must start with family engagement time. Yes, sorry about that. I wanted to start answering the questions, but I forgot. I must talk to fan members and know what you think before I proceed. Yes, so fan members, this question is for you, okay? Some of you, Sunday Bukola, whom I love with my life. I love Sunday Bukola. She doesn't know how much and what she means to me. So yes, I want to ask a question. Yes or no? Yes or no? What kills family more? What kills family more? Is it poverty or lack of will? So not yes or no. Please don't say yes or no. I made a mistake. Poverty, what kills family more? If it's poverty or lack of will. So don't say yes or no. I'll correct it. Just answer the question. Just answer the question. What kills family more? The first question, what kills family more? Is it poverty or will? Or will? Ezekiel said poverty. Adeshina said lack of will. Blessing Abu said, I love you so much. Blessing, I love you. I love you. Joy says jealousy. So the question says, due to our topic, Due to our topic, what kills family more? Is it poverty or is it lack of will? Gloria said lack of will. Eunice said poverty. Solomon said poverty. Fumilayo said will. Ilausu said poverty. Blessing Abu said poverty. Solomon again said poverty. Khadija said poverty and lack of will, because it's all intertwined to each other. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Question number two. Question number two. True or false? True or false? The Nigerian Constitution supports equal rights to inheritance, regardless of gender. True or false? The Nigerian Constitution supports equal rights to inheritance, regardless of gender. True or false? Jyoti Icon said false. Erifolami said false. Okay, Christian is still answering the other question. Mary said false. Sunday Bukola said true. Oni said true. Erufolami said again true, although she said false before. Olabimpe said true. Adeshina said true. Obayo, that's my cousin. Obayo said true. Obayo said true. Onyinyechi said false. All right, Obayo, I need you to stay to the end of this show because I'll give you a call. This is my cousin, and in whom I'm well pleased. I love you, Obayo, and you know that. Don't disappear. Stay to the end of the show. I'll give you a call. Now, question number 3 said one word. I need one word from you. If you want to give me more than one, what does a will give to your family after death? If you wrote a will and you died, what is the outcome of the will? What does will writing give to your family rather than no will writing? Question number 3. What does will writing? You say true, but we are not practicing it. This is so interesting. Some of us, because of what we see and what we feel, we don't really go deeper to know what's happening. Okay. Only said settlement. Only said will. So the question is, one word. What does a will give to your family after death? Tranquility. Efolami said settlement. Yes, settlement. Oni said settlement. Obioma said peace. Khadija said it gives pain and misery after death. Okay, JP Icon says stamp assurance. Fred Sonny said property na government according to some people. And Eunice said peace. Fantastic. So question number 4. Yes or no? Yes or no? If a man and a woman built their life in Lagos, should his village people, all these so-called village elders, come and share the property when he dies? So the question is, yes or no? You can say yes if you want. I'm not saying what happens. I'm saying, what do you think should happen? If a man and a woman builds their life in Lagos, should his village elders, kingsmen, come to share the property when he dies? JP Icon said no. Oni said no. Modupe Comfort said peace. Oni said no. Sunday Bukola said no. Gloria Gogwen said no. And Joy said no. Joy, good evening, Joy. Erufolami said no. Wow. But they still do carry their so-called chieftaincy title clothes come to push you out. All right. The next question number 5, says, how can young people today begin to change the culture around will writing? How can young people of today change the culture around will writing? What do young people need to do if they want to change the culture around will writing? That is, change people, most people don't write wills. So what should the young people do to change the culture regarding will writing? If any village member come for property, wallahi talai, na thunder go fire them. So the next question is, how can young people today begin to change the culture around will writing? Joy say by changing how they think. I love Joy. JP Icon say by saying no to all those ignorant cultural practices. Abike said, except if he has a will that combines the family. Oni said by improving their knowledge about will. Fantastic. Khadija said the youths need a legal practitioner's advice and counseling. Okay. Adeshina say no. Tochugu say make sure they write their will before death. Fantastic. Yes. Nurse Angel, I always feel happy each time you come live. Obioma, is that the answer to the question? Thanks for that. Rifolami said, improving their knowledge. Improving their knowledge. Oni said, change of orientation about well. And JP Icon is giving me love. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, Modupe Comfort is still on the other. Fresh Sunny say highlight everyone, follow us. Come on. And Agnes said change their mindset. Fantastic. All right. So question number 6 say true or false? Writing a will is only necessary for rich families. True or false? Writing a will is only necessary for rich families. Only the rich, like you guys were saying last time, I read your write-ups. Only the rich write will. True or false? Oni said false. And Aisha said false. I said change my set. Mary said false. Agnes said, change myself. Lola said, good evening. I'm late. Who won't try? Ziti said, true. Only the rich, right? Will. Sinabola said, joy. Okay, he's tagging. Solomon said, false. Everyone, right, can write a will. Sylvia said, absolutely false. And Fumilayo said, false. Everyone should and can write a will. Fantastic. So question number 7. Question number 7 said, yes or no? Have you ever witnessed a family war after someone died without a will? Yes or no? Have you witnessed a family war? Erufolami said yes. Eunice said no. Oni said yes. JP Icon said yes, and yes. Erufolami said yes. Nefort said yes. Mariano said yes. And Abike said, even if it's just a room you have, please write your will. Thank you. Colin said, yes, it was bloody. And Khadija said, I haven't witnessed anyone go to war because of no will. Fantastic. Question number 8. Question number 8 says, what would you include in your will if you wrote one tonight or today? What will you include in your will if you wrote a will today? The question is, what will you include in your will if you wrote a will today? Ekperamaka said yes, still answering last question. Aisha said, still thinking. Zitis is laughing at me. And Khadija said, no, everybody needs to write will, even if not only mattress you get. And only say the needy and the poor. I didn't say who will you include. I said what, not person. What item would you include? My children. Okay. So what would you include in your will if you wrote one today? Share everything equally, whether a woman or man. So I'm asking, what will you write in your will? But that's fine. I like that. I like that. You share my property, Agnes said. My children, and then it said, my property. Paul said, my mom, he loves his mom. Onyechi said, peace and love. Wow. Sometimes a will can be an advice. No, I have never seen. Okay, answering the previous question. My house, Nafisat said. My children, Eunice said. Nobody should disturb my wife and children. Wow. Onye said, peace. Ziti said, now waiting I want right. And then Femi said, I love one another. Fantastic. Oladimpe said, everyone needs to write a will, no matter how small you have. Amazingly fantastic. Question number 9 says, who causes the most confusion after someone dies without a will? A, is it the first son? B, is it the extended family? C, is it the in-laws? Or D, is it culture and silence? Who causes the most confusion after you lose your parents, any of your parents or your parents die? Who causes the most confusion? Erufolami said B. I know B is family, the extended family. Erufolami said B. And Khadija said, I will include course. Khadija said, I will include course on anyone who tries to create conflict on the will reading, but surely everything should be shared equally. D, JP, I can say D, who causes is culture and silence. Sylvia said D, culture and silence. My assets and beneficiaries. Adebimpe said D, my culture and silence. And someone says C, the in-laws. Okay. In-laws causes. Okay. Only said the B, the family. And Suleiman, good evening, Suleiman, said the in-laws. Okay. So the in-laws causes the most confusion after someone dies without a will. Whoa, those in-laws must be powerful. And Olabim said B, the family. So the second to the last question said, yes or no, should any human being be disinherited because of their gender or age? Yes or no? Should anybody be disinherited because of their gender or age? Yes or no? JP Icon said no. Oni said no. Solomon said no. Eunice said no. Aisha said no. Olabim said no. Modupe Comfort said no. Femi said no. Wow, everyone is saying no. No one said yes. Honestly speaking, no, 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 no. Okay, so you said no one should be disinherited because of their gender or age. But let me ask another question that was not written. Which gender is most disinherited because of their gender? What gender is most disinherited? Because you said no one should, but what gender? I'm not going to ask, should anyone be? You will say yes, so I will know the answer. So the question now is, what gender is most disinherited because of their gender? Modupe said female. Erufolami said female. Onyinyechi said female. Erufolami said female. JP Icon said female. Aisha said female. Fumilayo said female. Tochukwu said female. And yet, we all said no. So who does that? Can I ask another question that is not here? This is interesting because we know the right thing. We don't do it. So the next question I want to ask is, you said already no one should be disinherited, yet you said females are disinherited. The question now is, who disinherits them? Who disinherits them? Is it, I'll give you a question, is it law? Is it Nigerian law? Is it Nigerian law? Is it culture and tradition, or is it religion? Is it law, culture and tradition in families, or religion? Who disinherits the female most? Female, na dem collect wetin, na dem they collect wetin no good. JP Icon say culture disinherits the woman. Aisha said culture disinherits the woman. Erufolami say culture disinherits the woman. Colin say culture and tradition disinherits the woman. Oni said the culture and tradition. Blessing said the family, which is culture and tradition. Onyinyechi said culture. Modipe said female and culture. And Sad. Eunice said culture. And Chijioke said culture and religion. And Precious Gambo say culture and tradition. Very sad. The last question I have tonight. Says, true or false? Religious law gives daughters the same inheritance as sons in Islamic religion. True or false? In Islamic religion, daughters are given the same inheritance as the son, equal inheritance as the son. True or false? Erufolami said false. She's still saying female. Aisha said false. Modupe Comfort said true. Precious said yes. I don't know which is yes. Oni said false. Aziti said culture. Eunice said false. Khadija said false, and she is a Muslim. So on that note, I want to say thank you to each and every farm member for having let me know what you think, what is practiced in your area, and what have you. So tonight, I want to first of all touch into some of the questions I read after the talk show. The first one that shook me, the first question that shook me was, can a woman write a will? Someone asked a question while we were live. They said, can a woman write a will? Do you know one thing? I read all the questions asked. I watched the talk show and I read all the comments. Nobody asked, can a man write a will? Let me answer you straight. Yes. 1,000 times yes. A woman can write a will. After all, on the talk show last week, I said, I have started writing my will. And I am a woman. And I have written my will. Let me say this again. I, Nurse Angel, I have written my will. And thanks to our talk show of will writing, I realized that I don't want to be part of the issues in the society of today. I decided to write my will because I refuse to leave confusion behind. I refuse to leave confusion behind. A woman who builds a life. Look at all our hardworking women on the page. Tochukwu signature. Sylvia doing your cake. Most of our women, Gloria Gogwen, all our women that struggle, they're working, they're entrepreneurs. You should protect that property of yours. You should protect that life. From queens to market women, from single women to CEOs. Women are writing wills, and you too should write your will. I don't know why you should ask that question. Well, I understand, because people really ask what they see. Women like Dora Akunyili, yeah, she did write her will. A will is not gender. Women don't suffer. A will is not gender-based. They won't say only men are allowed. A will is your statement. You have a voice. It is not for men only. It is for anyone who loves their family enough, period. A will is for someone that loves their family enough to protect them, even in death. Yes. And again, yes, of course, Nurse Angel had me on her will. Look, another powerful question I read last time was, my daddy had not written his will. Why should I write mine? Something like that. You know, the old people should write theirs first. I'm too young. Something like that. Why should I write my will? My parents did not write will because wisdom is profitable to direct. And I want to ask you a question, fam members. Let me ask you a question, please. If your father, fam members, I saw someone saying, Or people can think, my parents didn't write will. Not haven't written, but my parents didn't. Why should I? If your father or your mother never went to school, will you refuse to go to school? Will you refuse education saying, my parents didn't go to school? I won't in this modern age. If your parents never went to hospital, they did not go to hospital, will you reject treatment when you're sick and dying? I want you to answer me. And all of you, you're saying no. JP Icon say no. Aisha said Rara. Eunice said no. And Onyechi said no. Adeshina said, exactly. Let me explain this to you. You see, our parents, our beloved parents, we love so much, they lived in different times. How many of our parents were taught to write will? So they did not really understand. They did not believe in will. They didn't understand. Some of them, a lot of parents do write will these days. But in the olden days, they didn't believe in will. They believed that tradition will protect the family. Even in many places as at today, they will say the culture says this and that. And because that is what they were taught. But how many of us have watched brothers and sisters fight over land? I asked the question in the beginning, how many have witnessed war after death? Some of you said you have. How many of us have seen widows thrown out? How many of us have seen? I asked. You say female are disinherited. Siblings kill themselves. How many of us have seen? You say, I do. No, ma. You're right. Yes. Absolutely correct. So if we have seen siblings killing themselves, fighting, that's what happens when daddies and mommies don't write a will. I want to say, don't worry. I know writing a will is still unpopular. It's still not very popular. But you, Iron Farms, you are educated, you are exposed, and you are a farm member of IOM, and you are in this talk show today. So if your father did not write a will, you must be the change. We preach. Write that will. Indeed, absolutely. Sure. Learning. Love. Yes. They believed in tradition, and it's true. Write that will. Break that course. Set a new standard for your family. You can set a new standard. Be the voice that says, this nonsense, this fight, that you guys, I was reading, I saw Chibes's write-up. Chibes was busy talking about people fighting over crops. Be that voice that says, this nonsense will end with me. The benefit. What is the benefit? You bring peace. You know, some of us, love, learning, thumbs up. So some of us, we say, my children are good. Some of us, we say, my children are good. They won't do that. Oh, I trained them well. I trained them well. They are not going to fight. They behave themselves. They are responsible. Will writing will bring peace. You show responsibility. You build legacy. You teach your children a better way. You teach them a better way of doing things because you can't vouch for your children when you die. Even now you are alive. Some of us, like in my family, my dad is still alive. But look at the tussle. Imagine when my dad dies. Imagine when my dad dies, what happens? If whilst my dad is still alive, my brother broke his hand, took off what belongs to him, what happens if he dies with my siblings? What will happen? Iron Farm, I like that. IRM farm, right will. IRM say what others whisper. Khadija, you're very smart. I love you. Yeah. Yes. My dad is still alive and my brother is fighting him. And the other brothers are watching. Some are joining in. What happens if he dies? All right. Another farm member asked, and they said, because I think it's important I clarify some of your questions. Someone said, I am not even married. Should I still write a will when I am not yet married? Yes, my darling. Yes. Yes. Marriage is not a requirement for wisdom. I repeat, marriage is not a requirement for wisdom. A will is not for married people. A will is not for married people. Let me make it simple. Let me make it simple. You are single. If you are single and you have a bank account, you are single, do you have a bank account? Do you have savings? Do you have furniture, electronics? Do you have a car? Do you have a land? Do you have you don't need to have them all. All you need to do is to have one or the other. Do you have properties? Do you have a car? Do you have a shop? Do you have electronics? Do you have siblings? Do you have parents? All right. Do you have nieces and nephews? Do you have people you care about? Even if you don't have anyone around you, let's say you're the only child and everyone around you are dead. Do you care about the motherless babies? Do you care about anyone? Is there anyone you care about? If the answer is yes, then yes, you can write a will. You should write a will. Let me give you an example. I'll tell you this example, and it's true. There is this young woman, she's about 31 years old. She lives in Abuja. At the time I worked in Abuja, she was not married. She suffered to make her wealth. She's a woman. Those of you that ask me if a woman can write a will, she runs a small makeup business. She has a shop. She has a car. She has a car. She has 2 bank accounts. She was very close to me. She has 2 bank accounts. She has savings in her bank. She has a shop of her own. And one day she told me she got a lawyer and she wrote a will. She said, if anything happens to me, my younger brother should inherit my savings so he can complete his school. My only sister should take over my shop. I will my shop to her. She's single. She's not married. My laptop, my equipment should go to my cousin who is learning IT. Yes, the cousin was doing IT. She willed the laptops, her IT own. She said, my cousin can take that. She's not dying. You know, people think if you're dying, go and write a will. Well, I tell you, you may not be able to do that. And that was her will. Do you know what that means? That shows love. You see, people think will writing is death. Oh, time to die. No, it's time to love. Will writing is time to love. That action she did was love in action. Do you know what benefits it was? She gave peace to the people she loves. Just like Bukola Sunday said last week. Other people would have come to take everything if she had no will. But she avoided war. She did. She made sure her dreams wouldn't die with her. Even in her absence, her intention lived on. Her statement lived on. A will is not about whether you are married or not. It's not about whether you are married. It's about whether you care. Do you care about someone enough to protect them? Do you care about someone enough? I see some of you say, my mother. Do you care about her enough? Do you have some money in your account? Because if you don't say it, if this lady didn't write her will, if anything happened to her, the world will decide what's her property or whom her property will go to. And the world, who is the world? The world is not a fair place. The world is not a fair place to be. Yes, I care a lot. Onyeka Chikuma, good evening. Collins, I have started writing my will, and my wife is the subject of the will. Then my children, peace and tranquility and continuity is all I stand for. And that is what can make me rest in peace when my time is up in this world. You see, one thing about will writing, we'll talk about that. Will writing is the end of our topic. We must write a will together. Will writing, some people write will and hide. Collins, I love you. Well done. Some people write will and hide. Excuse me. What are you hiding for? You know, most people don't trust anyone. So you see the way Collins said, I'm writing my will. My wife is the primary beneficiary of it. Then my children, very important. And after writing the will, we'll talk about it later. Seal it. Seal it. Make copies. People hide will. When you hide will, and only one person has it, people say, how come? How come? It's not true. We know my son. We know our son. He didn't like the wife. He was complaining about her. He said she wanted to, they can say anything and they contest the will. You see, when people talk about contesting of will, is when you hide your will. We'll talk more about that. Thank you for that, Collins. Khadija say, if anyone elderly, if all these elderly one thinks that they know their children, well, that they won't fight over will. What happens to those that their children sell their property while they are alive? I know. My brothers, they play. They play. Exactly. And that is true. Yes. One question that broke my heart. One question that broke my heart was when someone asked, not someone, a lot of people were writing. They said, but I don't have enough property. Oh, I don't have property rather. Should I still write a will? We'll talk more about this. Please, I want you to hear me. A will is not specifically about how much you have. I repeat, a will is not about how much you have, it's about what matters. Because you know the case of Abiola and Co. Some people have the world. It's not about what you have. It's about the people you're leaving behind. What matters to you? You can actually specify how you want your children to be cared for. I said this last time. You can say in your will, if I and my husband dies, I want my children to be cared for like this and like that. You can say how you want your children to be cared for. Because I tell you the truth, you'll be there. Someone that hates you, someone that don't wish you well, will take your children, take over. But you can write a will that will say how you want your children to be cared for. And guess what? The Nigerian law allows you to do that. The Nigerian law, people write, oh, my children are still small. I write the will and they forget to write how they want their children to. Because is it not somebody what's the name of this man that owns a bank? Is it, what's this bank in Nigeria? The person that owns this bank in Nigeria that has a private jet. Him and his wife died in a plane crash. And I think their children was there. But imagine, let's make a U-turn and say, him and which bank was that? I'm looking to see the bank. Let's imagine that this husband and wife died. Which bank was that? Let's imagine that the husband and wife, they died and their children did not die. And guess what? The children may be so young. If they don't have a will, people will just come and drag their children. People, they don't want to care for their children. We come, okay, I see it. Thank you very much. Onyeka, thank you very much. Access Bank. That's correct. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Adeshina. That's Access Bank. Just imagine, I don't know anything about the guy. I don't know him. Imagine if he did not have a will. Okay, he's a very rich man. So in his own case, he has a lot of will to write. Yes. He has a lot of property. But let's imagine that this Access Bank man, husband and wife that died in a plane crash. Let's imagine that he doesn't have any property. You know what? When people say, I don't have anything, I don't have anything to leave for my children, you have your children. You have your children. Access Bank owner has the world. He has any money he can lay hands on. He doesn't even, look, if they ask you, who will die first? That poor man on the street or Access Bank? You say the poor man on the street. But Access Bank husband and wife died in a plane crash. If they, I don't know the full story, but I remember that headline news. If they left their children without writing a will on what and how the children will be trained in case they die. I can't do that. I'm not going to die now. God forbid. I'll soon start seeing it because, okay, let me see, including their son. How many children did he have? Let me check. How many children did he have? How many children does Access Bank owner have before his death? How many children? They died on a plane crash. Oh, So before his death, you see computer, Jesus. So it says, it's giving me the answer. It says, before his death, Herbert Wee, the owner of Access Bank, had 5 children. 5 children. He died, he had 3 sons and 2 daughters. He was married to Doreen Chizoba Wee, and they had these 5 children together. He had 5 children with his wife. Now there are 4 kids. Tochi, Hannah, David, and Chizzy. But just a year after his demise, his family, including his father, are fighting. You see, I didn't know that. They are fighting his daughter, Tochi, over his business and property. Wow. Wait, it seems he didn't write a will. Yeah? Why are you not showing this thing clearly? Okay. Yeah. They said he has 5 children. Probably one died. They said he has 4 children left. According to the report, he had 5 children with his wife. Now there are 4, meaning one died with him. Tochi, Hannah, David, and Chizzy. But just a year after his death, his family, when we talk about this, people will think we are telling stories. When people watch this program, they say, or even Igbo people, they say, what are these people talking about? Look, Oyibo, they do them too. Let's be honest, they do them, but I don't know to what extent. So they said, the family, the man's father, his family, including his father, are fighting his daughter. Maybe the daughter is the oldest. Tochi over his business and property. His father. You see? Now, okay, his children were grown. I thought his children were small. So for them to fight his daughter, meaning the daughter is a big girl. Okay, that's fine. So imagine us if we have younger children, like little kids. I don't have anything. Okay, this guy is so rich. He's so rich, yet he did not write a will. He is so rich, yet he did not write a will. And Khadija said, Walai, everywhere, even the rich people serve no peace. But what pains me most is the fact that the caretaker of the children will always mistreat the kids. Look, Khadija, just like I was saying, thank you for taking me back. Your will, Nigerian law allows you, it allows for a lot of flexibility, and you can actually appoint guardian, or like you said, caretaker for your children. You can actually say, I want this person to look after my kids, outline financial provisions for the education and upbringing. Nigerian law allows you to specify any other wishes you have for your children's well-being, not necessarily inheritance of property. But the children, how they will be trained, who you want, like Khadija said, their caretaker, or the Nigerian law calls it guardian. Let me be honest with you. It's better. Let me ask you a question rather than to be honest. Let me ask you a question. Farm members, do you prefer to use your hand and select whom you want to look after your children in case anything happens to you and your husband? Or do you want the world to point who will look after your children? Do you want to be the one to say who, or do you want your culture and tradition, your umonna, your kingsmen, to tell you who will look after your children? And JP Icon said, I. Yufi, good evening. Say anything can happen at any time. The earlier, the better. I agree. Adeshina said, I don't know what. Erufolami said, Erufolami, did you say, I want you to respond, did you say you prefer the world, as in your elders in the village, to decide who will look after your children or you? China Echendu say, why is a will important? It curtails family disputes over property. It speeds up the legal process called probate. Correct. Guidance. So my question is, who will you prefer to look after your children? Additional, to choose who looks after your children, yourself or your kinsman? Adeshina said, myself. Gogwem said, lo. Ekperamaka said, me. Khadija said, I prefer to appoint, but you can't trust anyone. Look, you can't die with your children. You're right, Khadija, but let's be honest. You cannot die with your children. So, of course, you have two options. You say you prefer to be the one. If I had little kids, I want to be the one to say, I want this my sister, or this my brother, or this my relative, or this person, or this my friend, if they're happy to look after my children. I don't want my waiting. All these some kingsmen, and unfortunately, I, for one, have notorious kingsmen. And I'll say it loud and clear. And I hope they're listening to me so they will hear and know if they will do something about that. I have the most notorious kingsmen. I have very good kingsmen. Few of my kingsmen are good. But I will talk to you guys about it later when the time comes. Because it's important to call spade a spade. When you will see kingsmen that will see bad things happening and they support it, or they create evil just for selfish interests, I don't want them near me at all. Clear. Because it's not right. It's not right. Age should be wisdom, not wickedness. Colin said, yes, of course, myself. When a will is written and hidden, it means the future of the willer is hidden. Uncles and aunties are wicked. They can be. Some are good, but some are bad. And you don't want those ones that are bad, because we must stand for our family, more especially our wives, because they are so marginalized in the society. You are an Igbo man. I know you know what you're talking about, and I agree with you. Please, IOM farm members, if you are married, go and obtain a court marriage. You get why? Collins is an Igbo man, and he knows, especially married to a non-Igbo. Even if you're married to an Igbo woman, the culture has zero. I'm sorry. And if Igbo people are listening to me, kill me. I call you out. Igbo culture has zero, in many cases, regard for women. That is why when an Igbo woman hears about Yoruba or even Hausa Muslim religion, share at least a quarter, a half. Muslim religion, we are shouting, oh, Muslim, oh, what did they do you? They will even say, give half to a woman. Yes or no? Yes, I know it's not enough, but it's something. In fact, I want that if I can have it. But I'm not interested in them in terms of my culture. Yes or no? Igbo culture, as in Igbo culture, Muslims give half of the property to female children. Yes or no? Muslims give half. I've read it in their Quran. You know, I'm now a Muslim. I've read it in their Quran. Yes or no? Muslims give half of their property to women. Yes or no? And I want to see Muslims. Igbo tradition has no regard. Zero in some cases. Yes or no? Muslim give half of their property to, yes, is something. I agree. Khadija, a Muslim, said yes. Muslims share 1/3 of the property to the female. The 1/3, I don't think is the female. I think I read it. I thought they said half. The 1/4, the 1/3 should be the wives. I'll Google what portion does Muslim religion, sorry about that, I like evidence-based, Muslim religion, be writing, I'll read it, give to female daughters. The 1/3 could be wives, daughters. Is all right, so let's see. In Islam, inheritance law, a daughter share is not always half. Okay, so 1/3. Okay, a daughter's share is not always half. Why a single daughter inherits 1/2 of the estate? Multiple daughters. Okay. So so Muslim law looks at it, it depends. So if it's only one daughter, according to it, while a single daughter inherits 1/2 of the estate, multiple daughters inherit 1/3. 1/3. So 1/3 is for multiple daughters. And in some cases, their share can be adjusted based on the presence of the male siblings. The Quran specifies that the male receives twice. Okay, fantastic. This is what I'm talking about. So the Muslim Quran says that a man should get twice. That's where I got my half from. So if the Quran say give a man 2 phones, that give them twice. So if the man is getting 2, I should be getting 1. Although I will cry. I don't even need anybody's inheritance. So it says the Quran specifies that the male receives twice the share of the female inheritance. So single daughter, if a deceased person has only one daughter and no other direct heirs, like son, the daughter inherits 1/2 of his estate. Multiple daughters inherits 2/3, not 1/3, 2/3 of the estate. And then male siblings inherit twice more than female. So that law is the Quran law. Why you can say it's bad in terms of not equally giving, I will say I will laugh, because in comparison to Igbo culture, they will tell you you are an ordinary woman. Go to your husband's house. The man receives half. The male receives half. Hajiana's angel, well done, Mama. So Khadija, whom herself is a Muslim, I want to hear more Muslim voices say, a man gets twice, exactly what I said. Get twice what the woman gets. So women get 1/3, they said 2/3 of inheritance. But if a child died before the father, the dead child automatically has no ear. Of course not. The world cause sometimes selecting people may not favor the children of the dead. No one should be truth. Because believing someone will take care of your children after you're dismissed may be zero. I don't know what that means. Is Islam now a culture or a religion? Both. Both. So Islam is definitely a religion, and a religion is definitely a branch of culture. Yes. A culture is every way of life of the people, including their dressing, their prayer, their belief system. Culture is the umbrella, religion is underneath. But tradition or culture, in terms of our local culture and tradition, if you want us to be correctly stated, I'll tell you that where I'm from, they will tell you, you are a woman, go to your husband's house, unless you have educated. They are not even necessarily educated, but wise parents that decide that children are children. Yes. Will does not mean one is dying. Thank you so quickly. Yes. So you don't need 1,000 plots of land. We were talking about children. You don't need a lot of plots to write a will. You don't need to be Dangote to write a will. You just need one thing. One thing. You just need one thing. Love. All you need to write a will is love for your children, love for your family, love for your sibling, and also knowledge of the fact, like Khadija said, they can fight. A will can be as simple as saying, my phone should go to my brother, my bank savings should go to my mom, my book collection, give it to this child that likes reading. A will is love. A will is, I saw what Angela wrote. A will is love written down on paper or anything. It protects those you leave behind. It stops confusion. It brings about peace. It gives you control even in death. Because when you don't write that will, wahala go there, wahala de wait. I've seen families turn into enemies. Yes, yes, yes. I honestly have seen sisters swept. They are weeping. They are thrown apart, not because they lost their parents, but because they were erased from your history. Yes, they are erased from your history. I've seen first sons. My brother is a typical example. I've seen first sons take everything and tell others, go, go, I am the first son. I am the first son. In Nigeria, a will is a legal written statement of what you want to happen to your assets when you die. Assets don't mean only land. Assets, they mean anything you own, anything you value. That's why some people can put their jewelry in their will. So even if now your jewelry, your anything it is, put them for will, write it down. Some people write some people can even write, you will laugh and get tired. Some people can even say, I can say, for instance, I have a social media platform. That is I love it. I want this social media in our My Talk show to continue when I die. Of course I did. I'm willing it to Collins. I'm willing it to Sylvia. I'm willing it to Khadija. Khadija, please look after in our Mind Talk show when I die. I don't want it. That can be my will. That can be my will. Because it's not about the words of mouth. People will deny you. Oh, he didn't say it. You can't write will by saying it. I want, I want. In our Mind Talk show, I will it to Khadija. I will it to Abel. I will it to Chintok. I will it to anyone. Faith. I will it to JP Icon. I will it to Lord Joy. That can be the will. And I mean it. Yes. It's not just your property. Attention, Nurse Angel. Include me in your will or included. Yeah. And please hear me again. Please listen and listen, because you may think we are chatting. We are not chatting. This is a serious business. This is a mindset change, because we look from members, we cannot come every time. We are talking about Chibes, Khadija, people we are talking, last Collins. Then we are talking, oh, I see people fighting, killing themselves, doing this because of no will. You see, we are good at storytelling, narrating. If you see, they can't carry this barrier boss, they can't throw them here, they can't defy, they can't even the other one, you know, say you don't kill them. And what's the latest news? Breaking news. The brother don't stab the sister can't poison the nephew don't kill the other one picking, don't go hang himself. We want to tell the story. What are you doing about that? As they admit, if you come to me with a story, oh, this person is doing it, what did you do to stop it? Today is a check. We are checking in, and we are trying to be the change. We cannot be talking about fights. I saw Chibes. Chibes said 2 by 2. If somebody dies, and even writes a will, 2 by 2. Doesn't write a will, 4 by 4. It's not about us talking about the atrocities, the issues in our society. In our Mind Talk show is created to solve those issues, to bring about solution, not about finger pointing. It is not about finger pointing. It is more about bringing the solution to those issues. No. This is serious, very serious. Thank you, Ayo Dele. Thank you very much. You see, now waiting, you get, you go share. Absolutely, yes. Will writing is not a death time. In Islam, inheritance can be shared without writing a will. You know, it's good, because in Islam, I will be honest with you, I think you guys still have a strong religion and you follow. Zitis said last time that Christians, when it comes to death, they throw away religion. When it comes to will, they follow tradition. And we don't have most religious laws that we abide by. So if in Islam, you do things that work for you, Khadija. So if Islam, you don't need to write a will, and it works for you, of course, if it works, that's fine. But in Christian in our area, Christians, like you heard and saw last time, kata kata gobos. So even when you go and tell people, I want this to begin, they will say, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. So what works best is written and say. Even written will need a work. Our people good. Even written will need a work. You see, like Islam, you don't even need to write a will. Not that you can't write, I don't know. It say inheritance can be shared, meaning you can also write a will, but you don't need to. Yes, when things are good, when the going is good. But in the area where I know, when you share things and call this woman and call this person, say, see, they will tell you they didn't see when the person died. I wasn't there. They deny you totally. That's why verbal will writing, you don't write verbal will is not acceptable in the court. In tradition they can do it, but people are easily swayed. They can deny you even when you write it. If you don't sell it well and register it well, people will deny it. He forged it. It's not my father's handwriting. It's not his mindset. This one. So there's a lot to will that meet the eye. So yes, let's see. Eunice say, I am right your will for the love of your children. Yes, fantastic. And Abu say, in my culture, you can share property without a will. Warren no go day. Fantastic. Fantastic, Abu. Our own. Kata kata. All right. So again, sometimes all these things we they say Warren the day. Who they quarrel? All these people where they kill themselves. All these people where they kill themselves, where are they from? You are right. Even writing will, we need a work in our culture. Onyinye, thank you. And Colin say, yes, so Christianity is absolutely silent about will, and we still research though. Again, Collins, let's be honest, whatever it says, that time you are on your own. But the thing there is this, you don't want, you don't know who will be the prodigal son, who will be the Absalom. You don't know who that will be. People will say, I do not. There is no fight. Nobody, like Khadija also said, nobody envisage fight, but people fight. So when they say, in my culture is peaceful, in my religion is peaceful, and yet in Nigeria, there is a lot of, what about MKO Abiola, all these unending cases. What religion are they? Let me check Abiola's religion. Let me check Abiola's religion. What religion was Abiola? What religion was MKO Abiola? What religion was Abiola? What religion was MKO? Is a man of North. No. Mushud. Okay. Mushud Abiola. Is it Mushud Abiola? What religion was he? A Southern Muslim. Was able to secure a national mandate. So he's Muslim. Can you imagine? Khadija, he's Islam. And Kata Kata the boss because of his property. Okay, on that note, I will give Khadija a call. Khadija, you said no quarrel. You see, MKO Abiola was a Muslim. He is one of the people I'm even crying. He's one of the people they use as an example of war because of property. Ha, ha. Oh, Jesus. Still learning. I don't even know what to say again, because people will say in my religion, in my culture, we don't need to write a will, no fight. Tell me where you're from. Let me put the how many people have killed themselves because they say, what did they happen? Let me see. Is there issue regarding inheritance? I know inheritance battle after MKO Abiola's death. MKO Abiola family feud 2024. He alleged, hi, Jesus. No be small, no inheritance battle. Fight over wills. See, he says he had a will. It seems he had a will, but the battle is bigger than. Is there issue regarding will battle by family? Who is it? Is why they say Sorry, guys. I just want, because sometimes battle. What happened after? It's a long one. The right of Kola Biola is this one, the guy. Anyway, the truth is we need to safeguard, because I was just told within a minute that they do it without this. And I just remember MKO, because anytime you're talking about the battle for will, MKO comes top. Again, a will is not about dying, it's about peace. Peace for your children, peace for your wife, peace for your husband, peace for the family you will leave behind. That is why we are here tonight to continue our life-saving talk about inheritance. Yes, that is what we are going to do tonight. So let me see what Angela is saying. Africana with inheritance matter, then fit by somebody. Wow, 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 wow. So let's say the last time, we'll just look at the time. Jesus, I didn't know the time has gone. So where will I start? I wanted to talk about issues with the will. Yeah. But before I go into issues with will or battle after the will or what the law says, let's look at some stories. They don't practice, so it's only on the books. I have Muslim friends who fight over inheritance even when the parents are alive. Yeah, there are people that will and people that won't. Yes, that's like Nigeria's will is all about property. That is funny, because it's not supposed to be just about properties. What about, don't they have bank accounts? Don't they have bank accounts? They will leave anyway. There are real life cases, I must say. We know a few life cases, like Abiola's name have come up over and over. There are cases in the court. There are real life cases that got to the courtroom, not TV. These are real people, yeah, real people that fight and that they had real judgment. Who knows? Let me type a name. I want you guys to look for this. Look for this name. Look for this. Who knows? Who quickly research this? Maybe this is the last thing we'll look at. We'll go and come back again. We have a lot to talk about. Quickly research Ukeji versus Ukeji. This happened in 2014. Who knows the story? You don't need to leave. Just who knows the story about, let me see, a lot of catastrophe might emerge immediately after the passing of the owner of the property, but it is advisable to bring cleric and to share the property and this, okay? But it's not just immediately after, like your advice, yes. Tradition, they do that. They'll say, call this elder, call that elder, call the other elder. Sometimes the elders can deny you. I know of some cases. So who knows this case? Oh, has it disappeared? Who knows this case? Ukeji versus Ukeji. Who knows the case? Ukeji versus Ukeji is a story. I'll tell you the story. Quick one. Let's look at some cases in Nigerian courts. And it is, when you see this versus this, know that it's a real court case. A man died. His daughter was denied inheritance because she was a female. So she went to court and she won. Supreme Court said, no custom. You see, this is our custom wicked. No custom can stop a daughter from inheriting from the parents. It's unconstitutional. So that question I asked you at the beginning, whether Nigerian courts accepts equal, yes, Nigerian court does. So the court says it's unconstitutional. Boom. That case changed everything. Now, let me ask you this one. Let me ask you this case. Do you know this case? Do you know this case? Do you know this is a very, very old case? Very old case. Do you know this case? Is it Mojukwe versus Mojukwe? Do you know the case? Fantastic. Wait. Yes. So Adeshina said, in the 2014 case of Ukeji versus the Supreme Court of Nigeria ruled that the Igbo customary law practice of excluding women. Thank you. So, like I said earlier, Adeshina, they refuse to give the woman inheritance because she's a woman. Igbo culture. They'll say, follow your culture, not lie. You know, good. Follow law that suits you, not even suits you, that suits humanity. We need to check this out. So the Supreme Court ruled that the Igbo customary law practice of excluding women from inheriting their deceased father's property is unconstitutional because the Constitution said women should inherit equally like the men. Thank you. So I need you, thank you very much for that. I need you to research Mojukwe versus Mojukwe. Research it as well. This is about a widow. You see, this is a real case. When you say versus, it's a case that a ruling was made in this case. And a judgment was made. So Mojukwe's case was a widow. The blood tried to collect. They came. You know, when we ask you guys, who comes after the death? Father, mother, family, this, that. The widow, the husband's family, whoom, zoomed in when the husband of the woman died. They tried to take everything, including her husband's house. She refused. You see, you need to be a strong, powerful woman like Nurse Angel. Yes, I repeat, you need to be a strong, powerful woman like Nurse Angel. Check this case, please. Check this case. She refused. She did not only refuse, she went to court. And the court said, this custom is discriminatory. It must not stand. Let me see who got it. Decision affirmed the inheritance rights of female children in Nigeria, particularly within Igbo communities. The case involved, okay, this one is the Ukeji, who challenged the Igbo customary law. Yes. You see, when you guys see me come here and say, Igbo, you think I'm talking against the Igbo? No, I'm calling some ills. I'm Igbo, a full-fledged Igbo and a proud one. But there are certain laws that is discriminating and barbaric. If we hide it, it grows fatter. If we expose it, it dies. All we are doing is expose. I will not stop being Igbo. Nobody can take my Igbo-ness, because as they are Igbo, I am Igbo. They give birth to us like the same. Nobody has rights over any. But with the tradition and religion, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Khadija. So, in Mojukwe versus Mojukwe 1997, the Nigerian Court of Appeal addressed the issue again of inheritance right under Newi native law and custom, specifically the Oli Ekpe custom, which favored male inheritance. You see our culture, now man make am now. What do you expect? It favors, and you all said here, remember, when I asked, who is more disinherited? You said female. This is one. So the culture of Newi favors male inheritance. The Nigerian court ruled this custom was discriminatory and repugnant to natural justice. Very important, very important. It is discriminating and repugnant to natural justice, equity, and good conscience, thus invalidating its application in the case. The court affirmed that the applicable law was the lex situs, which means the law of the place where the property is located, which in this case, I think you should finish it up. Thank you. The case is Court of Appeal. So, okay, that's the case for reported 1997. Yeah. So when you hear me, yes, Lucia, listen well and listen clearly, because we, the Igbo women, we think, we don't have right. Look at Nurse Angel's eye. I must show that you came late. Good evening, nonetheless. Yeah, so listen, we, the Igbo women, you don't take things because they say it's the law. Challenge it. Call my name. Challenge it. Call me, I go follow. I may buy cases. Challenge it. Look at what the law said. It's repugnant and is discriminating against natural justice. They give birth to you, give birth to this, and they tell you you're lesser. This one is more. So I need you to put the place that was cut off. Yeah? Khadija, put the place that was cut off. Don't repeat the one I've already read. So the long and short, of it all is that the widow was told she's a widow, and the family of the man came to collect her property. She refused. She sued them. She went to court, and the court said, stop all these nonsense and ingredients. You need to give me the continuation. So Adeshina said, a court of law cannot invoke, yes. No, what did he say? A court of law cannot invoke a customary law which is repugnant society. I don't understand what you said. So I need you to retype it, because I have a feeling what you want to say, but write it well. I know what you want to say, but write it well. Yeah. Adeshina, write what you want to say well. Very important. So Khadija, in continuation to what the court said to them that is repugnant, they said the court affirmed that the applicable law was the law of the place where the property is located, which in this case favored the tenancy, the Kola tenancy system, allowing the respondent's daughter to inherit their father's property. I think that is in line in terms of the location. Yes. Whilst the law is doing everything it can humanly do. Thank you for that. So it favored the they said they looked at the location of the property. I'll talk about that. Yeah. Let me see. It at times, if you challenge it, your life go follow. You see, it could be true. Whether you challenge it or not, your life will follow. Sometimes you see independence, you see freedom, you see good deeds, you see like the killing of twins, a lot of evil things. Yeah, sometimes need sacrificing to get. Yes, you're right. You're right. But again, we cannot pray that God will come down and do things. We need to do it. Sometimes you don't need to just challenge it alone. You can gather community. You can go further. You can get people to speak on issues like that. Because if you don't do anything, your life will still follow, whether you do something or not. All right. So I think Adeshina has written what she's trying to say. The Court of Appeal held that the Nnewi custom of Oli is discriminatory, and any form of society or societal discrimination on grounds of sex is unconstitutional and against the principle of an egalitarian society. So, did London Bridge? Let's be honest, there is something in the statement. I was waiting for someone to talk about it. Sometimes, and I'm saying this with all honesty and love, sometimes our law is so bad, so discriminatory. They don't regard some of our laws, depending again where you're from. They don't regard women at all. I mean, when I say law, I don't mean Nigerian law. I mean our culture generally, which covers everything. Is so bad. It's so bad. And truth of the matter, I know where you're coming from, Lucia. No wahala. You don't know who I be. I dey fly come in the fight case. No worry. Until you hear my case. So I'm still talking. There are human rights organizations helping such vulnerable women justice. Okay, fantastic. And Khadija, I can see your tagging. Well done. So the truth is, our culture, especially, I can only talk from the known, especially the Igbo culture, is so discriminatory to women. And most of these cases you're seeing is even Igbo cases. Before I continue, let me talk about more cases. There is this case that has gone far. Let me check this case, please. Check this case, please. Check most of this. There are other cultures anyway, of course. MKO Abiola, that one a big boy case. Check this case. Check this case. This is the last case we check before we go. Let's check this one last before we go, please. Check this case. Check this case again. It's Igbo, isn't it? So Ezianya versus or Kabwe. And check the case, please. Check the case. This case, the new one. I see you're giving me old cases. Okay. I think I remember a court of law cannot invoke a customary law which is incompatible to natural, cannot invoke a natural law which is incompatible to natural justice, equity, and good conscience. I know what you're talking about. I will address it. Remind me before I go today, because next week we will now go into how to write a will. So please, as I said, check this case. Check this case. Whatever. Just check the case. Is again, Igbo case about a wife. A wife was allowed to remain in the family house. Yeah, not chased out. The court said, look at the case. The court that this is a very old case, 1963. Very old case. The court said a woman has rights, and we know many more sons who were disinherited because they weren't firstborn, children born outside of wedlock, wives who helped build houses but chased out by in-laws, stepchildren banned from funerals, daughters told you are married, you don't belong here. Courts have tried. The Constitution speaks. But peace starts with prevention. Let's be honest. But before I continue, there's something Adeshina has been trying to say. But I will say what I think she's trying to say. Yes, some laws, some cultures are so strong and they are fighting the courts. We have customary courts. We have religious courts, then we have our statutory courts, laws. So the Constitution, the Nigerian law supersedes. However, they give room for some religious and customary laws. For instance, Nigerian Constitution says that a woman, there is nothing like gender disparity. There are men and women are equal before the law. And they say inheritance should be shared equally. That's the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. However, like you saw, the Quran said 1/3, 1/4, 1/5, and they do that. No one have really challenged it. They just do it. Then the one that has been more challenged is the customary law. So the customary law in many places, like the Igbo, they say a woman, if you're married, go to your husband's house. They don't give them anything. In fact, if your husband dies, they come to want to take and all those stuff, even if he has children, in some cases, especially if you're a girl, they don't give you inheritance. And people accept it. Oh, that's our culture. But the law is against it. However, Adeshina is trying to say something about when the court cannot stop customary courts. So I want to say this, and I want you to listen to me clearly. Anytime any law conflicts with the Constitution, those laws give way for the Constitution generally. However, if you had read the one Khadija researched, they said they looked at the location. So, because cultures have tried their best, they've tried their best to deprive women. They say, marry, go, marry, go, marry, go, men stay, which can be changed because men, they marry, go these days. So because they will say inheritance is transferred by male lineage. So they looked at the location. I know what they're talking about. If it's a family inheritance, like in Lagos State, there's one that they've been challenging, like Oba, for instance. They'll say, Oba is inheritance. This chief, you cannot give that place, property, to a woman. And if you challenge it, the court will say, let them do, because it's inheritance. They tie it to lineage, they tie it to this, they tie it to that, and tie it to, they tie. They say, so they won't take it away from here. So most times, court has been silent on that. Yes. Court has been silent. When you say, okay, like in Igbo land, it's called Obu. In Lagos State, there is this particular one, the Oba Hut. Yeah, they will say a woman that is not the man's property. Their argument is that it's not the man's property. They say he inherited it. It's a lineage. They are passing it lineage from generation to generation. So the name will remain. So in Igbo land, they call it Obu. They say a woman can never, ever inherit an Obu. So if a father, they will even warn him, draw his ear like that. If you attempt to say you're writing will and put it, we deal with you. So if you take them to court, that they didn't give you inheritance of where they gave the Obu, the courts, they are almost always silent on that. That's why you saw they looked at the location. But if it's a wealth, the father bought with his money, like bought properties here and there, areas, maybe bought the next compound with his money, bought other compound, a woman can inherit it. But the one that was passed over to him, they refused to allow the woman inherit it. Yes. And the court has been silent on it. But the human rights are still fighting because the Constitution say equal. But when the court hear them say all those their tales by moonlight, they are quiet on it. They are quiet. Yeah. So if you go again, in closing, I'm looking at the time. In closing, if the court always affirms and stands strong that children must get equal, but when they start saying this land here is his father that gave it to him, it's not his own property, he inherited it and it's the lineage, they mostly keep quiet because they say, we can't give it to a woman, but they're still working on it. Because before they weren't giving a woman anything, now they are giving, they are not doing it equal, which is what the Constitution said from day one. Before you know it, that Obu, we go still inherit Obu. They go slap me, make I die. How does that concern me? So the last thing I'll read, Bami, patient, say, for you to win most active, of the talk show, we have to be extraordinary active. She's just coming on, commenting meaningfully, sharing, and also tagging. Thank you very much, Family. And woman no fit be chief now. That's your business. Me, I be chief. I make myself chief. And if na me, they must share everything. ION University. You see, one thing I know is women are the woe unto women. We are the one that say we cannot. Why can't you? Why can't you? I can. If you can't, that's fine. I can't. All right. On that note, let us dance and go. Love, love, love. Yes. So I want us to dance and go. I love the song I danced to. Yeah. Let us dance and go. Please let me put the one in my hand. Got the music.
I said, I'm a cancaneg. I said, you can come naked. I'm not going to be able to be able to get the way we have to live with naked vehicle. I got to do the number. See my baby, I said, back.
Wow. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for coming tonight. You see, it's still a work in progress. I repeat, it's still a work in progress. Um, my question to you is, if anything happens to you tonight, if anything happens to you tonight, what will become of the people you leave or you left behind? If anything happens to you tonight, what will become of the people you left behind? That's the question. And I want you to know that it is better your wish goes than the world, the kingsmen, the society make a decision for you. We are going to continue proper. We are still talking around it, talking around it. We'll come later on to real writing. But I want you to know that I love you. All I'm trying to do is how can we foster peace in this our fighting society? In our mind is always in my mind, and my destiny is definitely in my hands, and so is yours. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love you. Bye. Bye. Thank you.